Hello crafting. In this video I'll be showing you how to embellish a botha hat and also how to neatly attach your headband without it showing on the outside. If you're new here, you're highly welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I am Ibiwari. Get all your items set and let's get crafting. For our project today, we'll be needing some items. We'll need our scissors, our fascinator base. You can make this fascinator base or you can buy already made fascinator base. So you can get your fascinator base set. Then we need our UHC glue. We need our Alice headband. We'll be needing a matching thread, very important to get a matching thread. Then we'll need a trimming. I'll be working with this trimming, some feathers, and of course our crinoline. So we'll start with our crinoline. Use your UHC glue to rub off on the ends of your crinoline so it will prevent it from fraying. Then you see the crinoline, it has a part that has thread running through it, so just pull that thread area, just pull it. Be careful when you're manipulating this crinoline this way. If not, you can cut your thread off and all your work will be in vain. So be careful when you're pulling your thread. Pull it gently. When I pull from one side till I get towards the middle, I'll stop and I'll pull from the other end to get the gathers that I want from this crinoline. So I'm just pulling the thread along the crinoline to form a gathers. This is crinoline manipulation. So I just want to form a gathers with this crinoline by manipulating it this way. So when I get all my gathers formed and is tight within itself on the strand, I'll now go ahead to tie it off, then use my needle and thread to stitch to hold it in place. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm just tying it off. I've gotten what I want. I'm using 1 yard of crinoline for this design. You can use as many yards as you want. So I use 36 inches for it. You can go beyond 36 inches. If you want it fuller, just go ahead with any measurement you want. So I'm working with 36 inches for this one. I'm done manipulating it the way I want. So yeah, I'm just still checking out some manipulations I want to get out of my crinoline before I go ahead to stitch it down. Make sure you like the outcome before you go ahead to stitch it down so that it will remain that way. So I'm just checking it on my botha hat, how it will look like, how I want it to look like, the placement. Then when I'm setting that is how I want it, I just went ahead to stitch it in place with my needle and thread. Be sure to use a matching thread for this purpose, but if you don't have the exact color of thread, you can use your fishing line for this so it won't be obvious when you attach it to your fascinator. So I'm done. I'll just go ahead to do a running stitch where the both ends meet. I will do a running stitch there and pull it inwards. That is how I want my own design to be. You can leave yours the way it is, open, or you can pull and still do the same thing I'm doing here. Do a running stitch, pull it inwards, and you get another design out of your crinoline. So that is what I'm doing. I'm done. I'll just go ahead to knot my thread, tie it off, and cut off the excess thread. So when I was doing that crinoline manipulation with the thread on the crinoline, I didn't cut it off until I stitched down before I cut off my thread. So I don't want to take any chances of my thread breaking off and all your hard work will go in vain. So now it's time for me to attach my Alice headband. See how I'll attach it so it will not be obvious on the outside. I'll start off with the inside. When I bring my thread, my needle outwards, I will put it back in like the same spot the needle came out. Put it back in the same spot the needle came out. Then when it goes in, I'll use it to wrap my Alice band and bring it out on this other side. Then I'll do the same thing, put it back in almost at the same spot the needle came out. That way you won't see your thread on the outside. It won't be that visible on the outside, but you've done all your stitching to keep your Alice band in place on your fascinator or your hat, as the case may be. So this technique is worth knowing when you are attaching things to your fascinator, so you don't have thread all over the place. Your work comes out very neat. So I'll just keep doing the same thing, go in, come out from the same spot. Then when I use it to wrap my Alice band, then go in was outside, come back from the same spot and go back in. So this is, you can see that it's not visible. You're not seeing a visible thread, but you can see the thread on the inside. So now it's time, I've attached my Alice band, it's time to use my trimmings on my heart. So I want to wrap around the head area with this trimming. Now for me to do this, I'll use my UHU glue to wrap it around. But first of all, I need to get the exact measurement that will be enough for this my heart. So I'll just use it to wrap it around. Then when I want to cut it off, I will not cut it off exactly the same point where they meet. I'll give some inches, like up to 1 inch, because I have to fold it in, then use my UHU glue to glue it. That way you're not seeing any fraying edge outside. You're not seeing any fraying edge outwards. So I've measured it and I left about 1 inch overlapping where the beginning of my trimming is. So this is what it is now, the way it's looking. But I'll go ahead to fold it in the way, just look at what I'm doing. That is what I'll do exactly. Fold it in, apply my UHU glue to hold it in place, then finally use it to cover the beginning where I started my trimming. That way you won't see any fraying edge, and it's at the same spot I will attach my crinoline. So I'm done applying my UHU glue to glue it to my fascinator. So that same place where I started off and ended off is where I'll attach my crinoline. So you're not seeing any, like, no chance of you seeing anything that is not neat. We all want our work to be neat, so you have to do due diligence to get a neat work. So now I'll go ahead to attach my crinoline. I've already manipulated. I have attached it. Now I'll go ahead to use my UHU glue to attach my feathers on this fascinator. This fascinator was made for somebody ordered it for Mother's Day, and it came out looking so beautiful, and the client loved it. So give it a try. You can add other things to yours and make it more elaborate as you want. Look at our finished work, is looking so beautiful, simply elegant. If you've watched up to this point and you've not joined the crafting, what are you waiting for? Click on that notification button now to join the crafting, and the subscribe button. So I went ahead to use my label to cover that place where the thread was visible, where I attached the Alice band to the fascinator. So I used my label to cover it. If you don't have your own label, you can actually use your Peter Sham ribbon or any other ribbon to cover it, or any trimming to cover that thread inside and make your finished work look neat. So subscribe and follow us on our Facebook and Instagram. Till we meet again, stay safe, take care of you, be creative, and bye.